Hi sophomores, this is a short talk on the methods and motives of different European groups colonizing the Americas. So as you know, we've already looked at the Spanish and the English. Here I want to also bring into the story the Dutch, the French, and the Portuguese, so we get a complete method of each country's different motives, different methods, and the different outcomes that resulted. So here is a map of North and South America, and you'll see from the key that it covers all of the territories that we'll be talking about. We'll start with Spain and move on to the others from there. So Spain had the widest range of colonization, from the tip of South America to the current American Southwest and throughout the Caribbean Sea. Early attempts at discovering rich Indian cities that we've read about in our documents, they diminished by 1560, and the Spanish sought after that to defend their colonies and pacify tribes through Franciscan missionary efforts. Portugal, as you already know, colonized Brazil, which is a larger landmass than the continental U.S. A happy accident for Portugal as a result of the Treaty of Tordesillas of 1494. The earliest explorers of the 15th century were Portuguese, but Portugal was ultimately the least influential European nation in the New World. There was a vast world empire taken over by Spain's King Philip II in 1580. It relied more on agriculture than gold mining, and Portuguese colonial leaders often returned home within 10 years. France, like England and Spain, had its first permanent settlement in the early 1600s. For France, it was at Quebec in 1608. It also had small colonies in Central and South America and the Caribbean. The colony of New France, current-day Canada, developed slowly with only 15,000 residents by 1700. Fur hunting rather than farming became the chief economic activity. Jesuit missionaries attempted to bring humane treatment to the Indians. Contact with the Indians resulted in death by disease. Perhaps 90% of the Great Lakes region was killed, and by intertribal wars caused by the fur trade. On the plus side, the French fur trappers became some of the most competent explorers of North America, from current-day Canada to northern United States, and they, like the Spanish, they intermarried widely with Native American women. The Netherlands had a short-held foothold in North America, but it's important. They had colonies in New York, Delaware, the Caribbean islands, and Dutch Guiana in South America. They focused almost exclusively on commerce, that's trade, and the Dutch brought few settlers. Only 1,500 had been brought by 1665 in New Netherlands, which is current-day New York. They were involved in the sugar and slave trade in the Caribbean and South America, and this dominated their interests. Because Dutch Governor Stuyvesant ruled arbitrarily, when the English invaded in 1664, shortly after the restoration of the Stuarts to the throne there, the Dutch residents provided little resistance, and New Netherlands was turned over to the British. England's colonial holdings included British Guiana, which is in the northern part of South America, islands, Central America, islands in the Caribbean, and the east coast of the present United States. As you know, the early focus was a search for wealth. England was the most successful of European nations at establishing self-sustaining colonies following early disasters in Virginia. 17th century colonial emphasis was on the sugar trade in the Caribbean. Personal economic advancement and religious freedom provided the main impetus to colonial growth. The price revolution of the 16th century in England and crop failures forced many peasants and yeoman farmers to seek new lives, and this led to a big migration of English settlers. So in short, the Europeans colonized the Americas in a variety of ways, using different motives, different methods, and resulting in different outcomes. But it was not at all clear that Britain would dominate North America until the second half of the 1700s or the 18th century. That's it for now. Thank you very much.